Hey, this is the pizza here, and this is a video of Scorpion Cave. Unlike in my Cave of Fire video, I decided to take on Scorpion Cave with a friend. I tackled this dungeon with Jafar 459. We are both werebeasts. Jafar was level 43, and I was level 45. Scorpion Cave is the Elf's level 19 dungeon, and it's about the same size as Cave of Fire. So, as in Cave of Fire, there are a few patrolling groups, although not as many. We easily defeated the first few groups, and I was constantly checking the map since this was my first time being in Scorpion Cave. And so, a little bit up ahead, right here, we aggroed too many monsters at once, and we died. So we respawned in Barbarian Village, bought a few extra potions just in case that happened again, and set back on a trail. So there were no monsters in the beginning, because we killed them all, and when we respawned in Barbarian Village, we did not change our party. If we had added someone to our party, the monsters would have respawned back in their original places. I'm not sure if the same would happen if you took someone out of your party. So we're just about to get into the main room where the path splits. And you can see when I periodically pull up the map, if you pause it, it's really the only massive room in the dungeon. So we did actually pull a few of these groups, and we had to pull a lot in the boss's chamber, and I'll get to that later. So you can see I'm staying in Tiger form the entire time, and Jafar is switching between Tiger form and his regular form. The reason why he is switching between them is because of the skills, and you have different skills when you're in Tiger form than if you're in normal form. Tiger form is more used for defense and tanking, while normal is used for damage purposes. We are now in the main room of the dungeon, and there are two paths leading out of this room, one going to the east and one going to the south. And this one, it was harder to determine where the boss was just by looking at the size of the rooms in the map. So at first we went east, and we fought through all the monsters on the east trail. However, when we got to the end of this path, we discovered that this was not the correct path, and we should have gone south. So we still haven't figured it out yet, and when we got to this point, we began to realize that we had taken the wrong way, but weren't certain yet. So we pushed on through one more group, and you can see the shrine type area at the end, but instead of a boss being in the center of the shrine, there's just a chest. So we backtracked and went back to the main room, and then we took the southern path. So we knew this was the only path left, so the boss must be at the end. So we fought through the groups in this path, and this path is actually shorter than the eastern path. So up ahead you can see the boss is right there, and this room is very unique, I guess I could say. You can see behind us there are two monsters patrolling behind us, and so we took those out. And the second one was close to another group of monsters, so we decided to pull it away. And there's monsters in each of the corners. You can see we're taking those out, the ones that look like scorpions. And what monsters you might not see when you first come into the room are two cacti hidden behind pillars that are on the sides of the path leading into the boss. So here we just rested up to prepare for the big battle. And at first it may appear that the boss has 3 or 4 minions, but actually you can draw 2 of those away. So here we notice the cacti behind the pillars, right there. So if you charge straight up into the dungeon, you won't see those coming. And here Jafar pulled away 2 of the enemies that look like minions, but turned out not to be. So the cacti hidden behind the pillars, they have a range that extends all the way around them, so they can hit you no matter where you are in the boss's chamber, even through the pillars. So once you attack them, they will stay on you until you kill them. And so here we took out the second cactus. And all that was left after this was the boss. So we rested up again, just to prepare for the final battle. If you remember in my Cave of Fire video, alone I wasn't able to defeat the boss. But now that I had another person with me, we were able to take out the boss. So we rested up and used a few potions to make sure we had full mana and full health. And then we went in for the kill. So the boss still had 1 minion left, but it wasn't much trouble. And we attempted to target the minion first. But as you can see, the boss basically jumps on top of the little minion. So it can be hard to target the minion instead of targeting the boss. So the boss was attacked where we were trying to target the minion, because of the targeting issue. But we took out the minion first, and then we took out the boss. So what we tried to do was lower its defense and lower its offense as much as possible. So we basically tried to take away its effectiveness. And one thing that I did was I used Bluster in case Jafar was getting low on health or something. I would use Bluster to attract all enemies within a 12-meter radius to me. And so that came in handy a few times when there were maybe a few too many enemies on one person. And so you can see I'm using a lot of my skills. And I had mana potions, and I used them during the battle because I obviously ran out of mana while using all these skills almost constantly. And you can see the boss got knocked back a little bit there. That was because Jafar used Ground Render, which is a area of effect spell that attacks within a radius completely surrounding yourself, and it has knockback. You can only use that spell if you are in normal form. In Tiger form, the spell that's similar to that is Surf Impact, which doesn't have as large a radius, but it reduces your enemy's speed. So now the boss, Occult Dracus, is almost dead, and neither of us are in risk of dying. So Occult Dracus is finally finished off, and he dropped a lot of gold, but nothing else. So we were kind of hoping for maybe some items or equipment, but the gold was still nice. One thing I noticed was that when I went on the mob locator that I use, pw.rob-soft.com, the boss was not in the database yet, so I don't know exactly what the boss could have dropped. So that was a run of Scorpion Cave with me and Jafar459. Thanks for watching.